It's time to get serious now. We've got a lift, we've got a boom, we've got our team properly fed and watered. It's time to do something epic. We're going to attempt a major structural fix in the Bicentennial Barn today. So the problem here is we've got this awning in front. It's got a roof that wasn't installed correctly. It caused a lot of water damage behind it. There's also 2 natural joints in the concrete, which makes it a perfect place for our new front entrance. So this is more what we're going for. It's a new bump out entrance with a truss on top, which will get out all the rotted wood. And the problem is, there's this concrete wall, and there's a big column sitting right on top of it where we need to make that entrance. So this is what we want to convert it to, a new beam to support that old column. So we got Big Bertha the boom lift in action, which we barely know how to use, but we figure it out. We put a plumb bob on the building to get the exact center marked, and we start taking out some of the old siding. With our prep work out of the way, it's now time to dive into the old timber barnwood structure. So before we get started, we need to shore up the old timber frame above where we're going to be working, so it won't fall on us. And after that's done, we start the long process of kind of clearing out the front area where the new beam needs to go. We have to be kind of slow and methodical about this because we're going to reuse all this wood later. After the wind girts are out, the next job is to shore up the center column before we cut it off. We're all pretty tired, so we're going to save that for tomorrow.
A few inches later.
I see you drop some screws, yo. You have to be careful with your screws, yo. Can't be dropping them all over the rat shit.
Next, we build a pulley system to take out the old louvers. We have to be very careful with the louvers because we're going to reuse them again later.
That was a little too close.
It was just for a video.
A little too close.
Next, we get to work on building the giant beam which is going to hold this column after we cut it off. It's going to be 4 layers of thick LVLs with 1 little course of cedar down the middle to make the whole assembly the same width as the 8-inch columns.
There's some stupid beveling in my cedar. Someone did something stupid to try to save money. Did I mention there's a stupid bevel on all my cedar?
Finished clearing out a few more things in the front of the barn where our new beam and our new front entrance is going to go. We drill 5/8 thickness holes all the way through the beam assembly on the ground so it'll be easier to assemble the plies once we put it in place. Next, we pick out 2 of our best looking old 8x8s to hold the 2 ends of the new beam. We get them cut to length and screw them into place. Next, we get our shoring rig in place and we fasten it down tight. This is to hold the weight of that column after we cut it off. And we're not really sure what we need here, and we don't want the thing to fall down because that would be an outright disaster, so we keep buffing the thing up more and more and more. We also remove the siding from the outside of the column, and then we're ready to start cutting this thing. So the building did not fall down, as it turns out. It didn't even budge, which was awesome. So now what the heck do we do? Well, let's shove a beam in there.
There's our big ass beam. 19 feet long, solid 700 pounds, maybe more. What's 180 times 4? It weighs that much, plus the screws.
Using the law, we can pick up the heavy plies of LVL from the outside of the barn. We get them close enough that we can wrap them with nylon straps, and we attach those to the pulley system that we affixed to the timber frame earlier.
This is where the shit goes down.
This is where the shit stays up.
This is the moment of truth right here. We're gonna lower this sucker onto this beam we just put in. Thanks for going easy on my floor there, yo.
We are now in the home stretch. We need to get 3 more plies of the LVL beam in there and get them all bolted together.
No matter what, don't let y'all go.
Let's do the last one too at once.
We have a pretty amazing engineering feat from 3 guys who don't really know what we're doing. Look at that. That's like holding the whole building right there.
Leave yours on for a second.
3 guys, 2 of whom are stoned, you know?
So we got it in there. As soon as this thing gets inspected, we're going to cover it with barn wood, and hopefully no one will even be able to tell that we did anything here.